Hello, everyone. So I'm starting to get some questions about the writing assignment that is due this week. We are going to cover this in live session, but I want to make sure to give you a little bit of a precursor as to what to kind of focus on in case you wanted to get started on it a little bit early. But if you pull up the assignment, obviously it's in week 4. Um, and it's paragraph writing assignment here. So when you click on that, obviously you're going to open up the one pager. So 11 is the story that we that we read back in unit 1, week 3. We read it in class together. So if you were not able to watch the video for that, or if you were not in class with us, and I know some of the new cohort students, you did not obviously get to read that with us in class. I'm going to show you where that's located, but it's located back in week 3. So if you click on week 3 and you go to read, it is here. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to put this down in week 4 for you, so you will have it available to you, but you are reading 11, and it's a real short story, won't take you very long to read it all, okay? So for this assignment, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be discussing how does Sandra Cisneros, who that is the author, use point of view to develop Rachel's character in 11. So remember when we talked about point of view, we talked about first person or third person point of view. And so we know that, and we discussed this in the class, that this story is told from Rachel's perspective. It's told from the protagonist's perspective, right? So it's first person. So we know that it's told in a first person point of view. So basically, what the question is asking is how does the author use first person point of view to develop Rachel's character? And then what kind of girl is Rachel? How does she tend to feel about herself and about others? What are some potential reasons for this? What message does the reader take away from Rachel's experience? And how does the narration help the reader understand these things? So obviously, if something is told from a first person perspective as opposed to a third person perspective, you're kind of seeing in in feeling exactly what the protagonist or the main character is going through in a first person perspective, right? You kind of get the inside feel of to what they're thinking, what they might be feeling. So there's definitely a lot of pluses to that. So you just kind of think that you're putting yourself in Rachel's shoes, right? So we're going to discuss this a lot more in live session, but what I wanted to do is just give you a little bit of clarification on kind of what I'm looking for this. So one of the things that want to make sure that you're looking at are what the MLA guidelines are, and basically all I need to see is I need your name, my name, teacher's name, date, or class name, date. It needs to be double spaced. You need to have a time New Roman's font or something similar. And then you want to give your paragraph a title. All right. So you're going to have 30 points available for this assignment. You want to strive to do about 1 page. If it's a little less than that, that's fine. If it's a little more than that, that's fine. So you're going to get 10 points for just making sure that you have all of its components. So you want to make sure that you've answered all of those questions, that you're responding as much as you can, right? The next thing that you're going to have in this is you're going to have 2 concrete details. So basically what that means is you are pulling textual evidence. So you need 2 quotes or 2 examples from the from 11 to support whatever your ideas are. And we're going to go more into detail about this in that live session, okay? Then on top of that, once you have your details or your concrete evidence or your textual evidence, you are then going to have meaningful commentary. So what that means after that, when you pull the quote, you're going to kind of develop or you're going to write a little bit more about that quote and why that quote is important. So it's basically like expanding on the quote and meaningful commentary or supporting the quote, or you're going to hear quite a lot in my class. So kind of get used to that. Meaningful commentary just means expanding on the quote. Um, and then the next thing that we want to make sure that you're doing is writing in third person. So remember at the beginning of the school year, we talked a lot about if you're writing anything for me, unless it's a narrative or just like a personal piece of some kind, you always are writing in third person. So that means you are not using I or you or anything like that, right? Or you're not saying, in this essay I'm writing about, or you don't want to like set the reader up. Whatever you're writing, the reader should be able to see the content that you have coming out just based on what you have written, right? You shouldn't have to tell the reader this essay is about. When we're writing, we know that it's an essay. So you want to make sure that you maintain that professional writing style, okay? So, I know you're going to have a lot more questions coming up. This is one of the main reasons that it's really, really important that you're coming to live session, or if for some reason you are not able to come to live session, that you're watching the recording, okay? So we are going to cover this on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, we are going to do a help session, and we're going to kind of work together on this if you are struggling and having problems. If you are not having problems and you are fine to write it on your own, remember those sessions are optional for you and you have that option to come or not. All right, so hopefully that clarifies some things for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email and I would be happy to help.